Welcome to Kilimanjaro Podcast.
Hey, that's it. There you go. That's a good intro. Alright, yo, it's Miz again. It's CJ, obviously. What we doing?
We're back at it again, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
This
This is episode. We don't know.
we don't know still.
But yeah, obviously, you heard the intro. It's Ana Santos.
Hey.
In the building.
Yeah. So who are you?
Okay, so my name is Ana Santos, like you just said.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
20. I'm originally from Portugal.
Yeah.
Porto. You probably haven't heard of it, no?
I've
Football
heard of
club?
Porto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Porto FC.
Porto
FC,
come on.
Cool, I'm from
Bang
there.
out on FIFA, you know them ones. That's the only way I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm from there, came here when I was like 10.
Okay, cool.
So ever since like I came here, obviously I didn't like really come from much.
Mm.
Yeah.
So coming here was like a big change. It was like a culture shock for me as well, I feel
Yeah.
like, at times, because it was like completely different.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just been like on a journey of figuring out myself and how I'm gonna do everything I want to do.
Yeah. And you're trying to get to know yourself first, isn't it? That's kind of what we were
Yeah.
talking about behind the scenes. But what do you do now?
So I actually,
Because that's what everyone asks out there, innit?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living? How do you
Yeah.
make the bread? I need to know
Okay.
so I can see if you can benefit me. That's what people
Pretty
do,
much,
innit?
yeah.
So yeah.
You know
Cool.
the
So
boss.
I actually work in a like an organic shop type of thing.
Okay, yeah, that's on
Like,
brand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's actually really nice. Like I
Yeah.
do my own thing. I'm really like good there, comfortable in terms of like I said, I do my own thing.
Yeah, but it gives you what you need, right?
Yeah,
like it
like-
sustains you and you don't mind the company.
Yeah,
right?
and also I feel like it's quite flexible because, like I said,
Mm,
and like you guys know as well, I do music
yeah.
and I need like a flexible job to be able to do that because I work full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's hard to like keep up with both, but I feel like where I work is really nice and flexible and I get to do like basically everything I need to do.
And that's what a lot of people say who come to us, innit? Like who are trying to get into the industry. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how many rappers we've interviewed at this point. Quite a few, right?
Yeah. Good
Like
amount,
at least
yeah.
10. And they've all been like, I have a part-time job to sustain myself. We don't ever hear full-time really.
Okay.
So balancing full-time must be hard because like the studio sessions that you have to do, there's collaborations.
Yeah.
Then I guess as you go forward, because you've only done one single.
Yeah.
I was going to say signal.
Signal.
Single, right?
Yeah.
At this point. So maybe when you're not doing shows and stuff like that, but that'll come later on, right?
Yeah.
And you have to make time for all of that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's probably like one of the main things I've struggled with so far and probably why I've like taken so long to actually release something,
Yeah.
because I felt like at times I didn't always have the time and freedom and space I needed to be able to like create the
Yeah.
way I want to be able to create, if that makes sense, and also to like do shows and all of this and all the stuff, because I feel like doing shows and stuff you can like there is stuff out there for like upcoming artists, so there is like loads of things that I could do, but sometimes like I said, it's just timing is not the best, but
Yeah.
you just have to do it, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, I guess you have to do it, but like if you're not in the mental space to do it, then when you do it, you're going to be demotivated afterwards because you're not going to have it.
Yeah.
And it is that thing where it's like, you know, I could go far, I've got co-signed by my people around me, and then it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess, how did you even figure out that you wanted to be a creator first off? And then, how did you realize that you wanted to do music?
That's actually really funny. I feel like with music, it's been like a bit up and down at
Yeah.
times. So I've always been like really different since I was young.
Yeah.
Like my siblings.
What do you mean?
Like,
What does
as in,
that
like,
even mean?
You didn't
as in,
really
like,
fit in. And
like
Yeah.
so different that
Yeah.
my sister used to tell me I was adopted.
Yeah.
So like obviously as a joke,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't say that unless
Yeah,
someone's
these
like,
jokes
full
get
on.
thrown around a lot now, innit?
Listen,
The adoption ones.
listen.
I've told my sister that plenty of times as well, man. I can't lie. So,
I mean-
yeah. So I feel it.
Yeah, so growing up I was just really different. I used to like just do weird stuff to like express myself. Like I'll literally grab like random stuff, just put it on. Like I'd grab like a baby nappy, like you know the cloth, baby cloth, something like this, baby towel type of thing.
Yeah.
Wrap it around my arm. I'll be like, this is my new like clothing outfit type of thing.
Yeah.
And then kind of just always been around like family who enjoyed listening to music and dancing and just having fun with music itself. So I guess that kind of like like
It's that bubbly feeling, isn't
yeah,
it?
and I guess it kind of like in a way opened my eyes to it as well. So yeah, grew up around that, and then once I came here, went to school and whatnot. Like I said, I was kind of just taking my time with it, letting myself like integrate into the place. And then yeah, when it came to college, it was just like, okay, I felt like that for me was kind of like, okay, you need to like decide. Because I knew I've always wanted to do music, but I never went through with it because multiple
risky,
reasons. Yeah, it's risky. It's scary. You know, to kind
putting
of like
yourself out there.
Yeah, but also
opening yourself up to everyone's criticism. Especially being someone who's like bubbly and does weird shit. You already hear the criticisms from your family, but you know your family fuck with you, innit? It's blood, right? They're not gonna like turn against you. But when it's your people, that's when it gets a little bit scary, I think.
Yeah. And I think also like because I didn't come from much, like my family had this vision that like you couldn't really make it so far.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Like your vision is stunted.
Yeah, like they were like, oh, you need to go and study, you need to go and do something else. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that mostly happens from like their lives, right?
Yeah.
All people really talk about is their experiences, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the advice that they give and everything that comes with it comes from what they've already lived.
Yeah.
So if they've lived a life where they've tried something, maybe not hard enough, but they'll forget about that because who wants to forget?
Yeah.
Who wants to remember the good things, the bad things about yourself?
Yeah.
Fuck, I fucked it up, man. Let's start all over again. But you know what I mean? It's like they're not going to give you advice from what they didn't learn. They're going to give you advice from what they learned.
Yeah.
And that's all they saw because you said you didn't come from much, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like also times were different, things were different, and I feel
it was survival mode rather than like where we are now, which is kind of luxury if we think about it. Like we have the luxury to explore things.
Yeah, of course, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I meant. As in, like, there's so many more platforms for you to like do your thing on nowadays.
Yeah.
And just in general, like even places for you to go out there and showcase your talent. Like before, there wasn't really that many, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, yeah. So I think just a lot of like parents unfortunately think like that. But it's just, it's just kind of, for me, because I'm like obviously born in a different generation, I feel like I get to see things differently. I guess I'm lucky in a way.
Yeah, how do you see things differently, you think, compared to like the generation above you?
I feel like since I was young, I just didn't know what it was. Sometimes I didn't really know how to even explain it, but I just felt like, there was something in me just saying like, you can do more, you can do better. Like I said, like I didn't always know how I was gonna do it, but I just knew I was gonna do it. Yeah. And it took a couple like, years and a lot of growing up for me to realize that actually, you know what, you can really do it. Because one thing is like wanting to do it, another thing is actually like believing you can do it. So
yeah. And I think for CJ, like he makes music as well and he produces at the same time. Mainly producers, obviously, which is what he always likes to say.
Come on.
But yeah, did you kind of see the same things when you were going into the music field? Were you like, like was your growth stunted, or was it kind of different where you were motivated to get into it? Because she's saying she had to discover herself in order to feel like she's worthy of going into the realm.
No.
Did you
definitely.
always feel like that, or
no?
Was it something you had to work on, and how did you do that?
No, that was definitely like for me. That was definitely that kind of. I had to mentally sit myself down and be like, is this something that I could actually see myself, elevating in, or am I just like flipping? Am I just like
making a fantasy in my head?
Yeah, pretty much, innit? So, I mean, definitely like.
It's techie, innit? So me and CJ were talking before you came. We obviously listened to the song "Bittersweet" like a few times, innit? So go listen to that. But first of all, like the first thing that came into our heads is like, okay, this should have more views, right? But obviously it's your debut track, innit? You have to build the traction, you have to do all of that. But secondly, we were talking about your music in comparison to CJ's, and I was like, CJ, why have you never released a love song? Right? And obviously he's a guy, you know how he is, he's kind of nonchalant, So he doesn't want to portray that side of him because
Nah, for me, right, I was telling
Yeah.
him, right, I think it comes across, it's easy for it to come across as like,
Coming with it, yeah.
yeah, it's easy for it to come across as like hella like cringy and a bit like,
It's too open. You're opening
It's-
yourself up to people calling
yeah.
you wet.
And people
Not taking you seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the main thing.
Because you
it's
see
like,
yourself
that's the
as someone else, right?
thing.
Whether you're a guy or a girl, you still see yourself as stronger, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you don't want to, like, in your normal day-to-day life, you have 75% of people who you're not going to show that face to.
Yeah.
And showing that face to the other 25% without your knowledge of who they actually are is a bit tricky.
It's tricky, man.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like it kind of all goes down to like our ego.
Therefore.
Do you know what I mean? And I
That's
feel
all it is.
like, yeah, I feel like for me, considering like where I come from, where I started, there's no reason for me to like, you know what I mean? Like just
Stop yourself.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing.
Is that the point that you've got to now, though?
Yeah, definitely. Like I haven't always been like this, but I just feel like, you know what, this is what I want to do. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Whether people like it or not. I mean, I know there is at least one person out there that will probably like it. So that makes me happy.
Yeah,
Even if it's just one
definitely.
person.
I mean, if there wasn't, then it would be a bit peak. It would be like, why are you doing this? This podcast would be a sham because it'd be like, you know what, you're shit. You gotta stop doing what you're doing. All right. I know you said, oh yeah, I really worked myself into being the person who's doing what I'm doing now. We'd have to shut that down. That would be
Bro, the whole podcast would be a roast, man. It'd just be one long roast.
You know what? Maybe the podcast should be a roast. Maybe we should find people as shit.
You know what, I mean,
Why
come
was
on,
your
man.
first song so good? Can you make it worse next time? So we can just roast you. But no, yeah, obviously it's quality, innit? And you're just starting your journey.
Yeah.
But how did you okay, so people obviously have to fuck up in order to like learn shit.
Yeah.
So how did you fuck up before you started music?
As in
And
like
what was the fuck ups that you learned through to become the person that you are now?
okay.
Because it's confidence, man. To
Yeah.
go there, record a song, record it in front of a producer or whatever,
Yeah.
then take that to like radio stations and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and then do all of that.
That's the root of it, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's funny because a lot of people like you will look at me and probably think, yeah, like she's so confident for doing that. And I guess you're right in a sense, yeah. But I feel like when you really want something, you don't really care. Like, yeah.
No, yeah, that's true.
I
innit?
feel like
Yeah.
obviously, yeah.
But it's not the lack of care, innit? It's like because you care so much
It's like, yeah,
to
it's
not
like,
drop the ball that you're gonna continue.
yeah, you just, I don't know, for me, I'm kind of like that. Like usually every time I'm scared of something, I remind myself that it is because I care. Because like if you didn't care, then you wouldn't really be scared or worried or anything.
Yeah.
And I just try like almost like force myself into it because I feel like if I don't, then who will?
Yeah. Like sometimes you
Yeah.
have to say fuck it, and fuck it isn't because you prioritize other people's feelings. It's because you prioritize your own feelings.
Yeah.
And as a consequence, you don't care about the others as much.
Yeah, almost like, kind of like, you know how technically we have like a good side and a bad side.
I think about that too
Like-
much, you know.
Bruh,
And, like,
I feel like devil's on the left shoulder
Yeah.
looking at me like, yes, kid,
Yeah.
yes,
Come on,
keep
the
doing what
devil's
you're doing.
shaking my hand, man.
Like at some point you just gotta kind of like mix the two together and make the most out of it.
Yeah.
But let it get the best out of you, you know? Like
Yeah,
let
yeah.
the reckless bad side
Yeah.
mix in with the like confident and then make that like go forward with things. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need that kind of, you need that kind of aggression in it.
Yeah.
Just to like, literally push
Yeah.
yourself, get
Yeah.
yourself off your seat, and actually like
Yeah.
go and
Yeah,
put
because
in
that's
work, innit?
ancestral, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like, you know, our ancestors had to climb hills and kill animals and shit like that. It's that nerve in our system that is pumping as soon as we do something like go on a roller coaster or make music or
Yeah.
do something different, innit?
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you feel about your first song being a love song?
It's
And did you
funny.
feel like the same things as CJ being cringy and shit, or not really?
Do you know what? I don't know if you guys heard that radio interview I went on.
Little bit.
A little bit,
yeah,
but I actually
probably,
touched up on that.
Yeah.
Like I literally said the same thing. Every time I listen to that song now, I find it like kind of cringy
Yeah.
because it is so like lovey-dovey and so like emotional and like you guys said, so open. But
What was it about for the people who don't know?
Right.
If you want to get into it. You did say you wanted to get into it.
I mean, it is like, it's the whole point, you know? Like, if
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
to write a song,
Yeah.
I might as well try explain my point of view and
Definitely.
why I wrote that song. So, yeah, you know, sometimes you just meet some people that you're really, like, fond of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, you know, you have a really good connection, you really vibe. But at the same time, some people call it, like, right person, wrong timing.
Yeah.
Some people call it, like, yeah, just not meant to be type of thing.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just kind of like, yeah, just got myself in like a situation where just it felt nice, but it didn't. Do you know what I mean? So it was like,
Explain
Yeah,
the
it's
you
funny,
didn't
that's
feel
funny.
nice.
as in like, so I had a lot of love for that person, and I'm pretty sure that that person had a lot of love for me, but I just don't think we were like good for each other, you know?
Like a twin flame kind of thing. That's what people say, right? Did I get that phrase right?
Yeah, I guess
I mean-
you could say that.
I know I've heard that before.
I mean, I'm not sure I
repeating
believe
what
in
I've heard.
those, but
Yeah. Like what, soulmates and that? You don't believe in
I
that?
mean, I'm open to it, but I ain't seen anything like that yet, I don't think.
Alright, cool. So you were just fond of the person is what you're going with.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was like in love,
Okay. But you were just like, okay, this
because I
feels
feel like
nice,
it wasn't love.
but it wasn't the right time kind of thing.
Or more like maybe, you know, when something looks nice, but it's not actually nice. Like
Yeah. I
the
feel you.
idea of it is nice, but
Yeah, that's like every one of my exes. Shit, you have to cut that out, man. I can't lie.
You make me do work, man.
I keep it fucking. Yeah.
yeah, it's funny.
It is kind of bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of why I wrote the song, and that's
Yeah.
why it's called Bittersweet, because it's like bitter and sweet. It was
Yeah, I guess,
amazing, but
yeah.
it wasn't.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it was meant to be, but it wasn't. Or other way around, you know?
Yeah, I get you. How long ago did you write this song?
Wow. Maybe like 8 months ago.
Okay, cool. And then was it?
Yeah.
Did you delay it because you were trying to like get your head in the right space, or did you just like take the process as it comes? Like just do it slowly.
To be honest, it was definitely like more delayed than.
Because it's your first track, right?
Then
Like
I
we understand that
expected it.
obviously
Yeah,
it
you
has
gotta
to be a
overthink that
certain
more,
standard.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
CJ over there thinks his tracks too much.
That's why I hardly released them.
That's
you
why
know?
he's released it.
you know
Sorry,
what?
Jay.
I think like a lot of artists are like that. Like a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
artists overthink their stuff a lot before they actually put it out.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was just kind of like I was ready to put it out. If anything, I wanted to do it too quick.
Mm.
Yeah, and then
Oh, you wanted to put it out as soon
yeah,
as possible,
I wanted
As soon as
I wanted
possible,
to put it
yeah.
out as soon as possible because I just kind of wanted to get the ball rolling.
Mhm.
But you know, sometimes like obviously I didn't do everything by myself, so I had to like work on other people's time as well
Yeah.
Mm.
and my own time. And because I work a full-time job, sometimes I just I couldn't always just go to the studio or like making a music video, for example, and just everything else basically. Because it took like a couple studio sessions to make the song.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. But
Like,
also,
yeah.
sorry.
No, you go.
But also, like, I kind of, when I wrote the song, I left it for about like 4 months until I actually was like, okay, I'm going to release this.
Okay, you let it marinate for a bit.
Yeah.
You're like, is this still what I want to say? Do I want to say it
Yeah.
like this? Do I need to change a
Because-
couple words?
Yeah, because it
Maybe
was
this makes
so-
it bait.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because it was so like touchy feely. I was like
Yeah.
feeling. I was like, yeah, maybe I should just not put it out. Like
Yeah.
it's too much. Am I ready to put so much of me out there?
Mm.
And then yeah, one day.
Do you feel like a lot of girls do that? As in they put like love songs out, and because of that you were like,
Also,
I
yeah.
don't want that to be my thing. You know what I mean?
Also, yeah. Also,
Because
And
you
I
want to.
feel like-
Everyone wants to transcend that, right? Right
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
especially.
Yeah, and also I'm also like just always like a bubbly, outgoing person. So
Mm.
it felt like also
Like your alter
just
ego
a
or
bit
something.
wrong
like that. Yeah.
to put something like that out because that's not really what people know of me. Like
It's not
what you
representing
mentioned
you as
before. Yeah.
You want to be represented.
Yeah, but then I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do this, then I might as well just be myself, be real. Because I
Yeah,
feel like that's
exactly.
what's gonna make me stand out from everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like you kind of, if you're a musician, you kind of have to see yourself as this fluid thing, right? Like water, basically, where it's like, okay, this just encompasses this emotion, and next time I'll do the heartbroken shit.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
next time I'll do the raving at a club bit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
It just depends on like what the scene is, where you're creatively inspired. Because how many throwaway tracks do you know what I mean?
Bro,
Yeah.
90% are throwaways, man.
90%.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
What's the song that you trashed recently?
But I trashed.
Yeah.
Like,
why did you trash it? I guess is the right question.
alright, so I'm pretty weird, innit? So
Yeah.
I've got literally, so I recorded loads of tracks over the past few years. Me and my mate, and like I haven't actually released. I've only released like.
This is with Aaron.
Yeah.
Shout out Aaron.
Yeah, shout out to Aaron, innit?
Yeah.
I've only released like 2. Yeah. In the past year, I released 2, and I deleted 1. So I'm like, yeah, this ain't it. But
It's calm. It's 1-0 right now, bro.
yeah, come on, one.
You put 1 on the scoreboard. It's calm.
Why'd you delete it if you had 2 out?
Nah,
Yeah.
I didn't rate it. Like, I
Why?
listened to it again.
I mean, why go through all of that then just delete it?
Basically, right. Alright, basically, so I listened to it again. To be honest, when I first released it, I wasn't really happy with it. I wasn't like, I could have like listened to it, I could have done better, like not just song wise, but like mixing, all that, like just melody and all that. I could have done a lot better, and I kind of knew it when I released it. So then I'm listening to it again like this year, and I'm like, you know what, this doesn't make me look good. Like, this is like, for people listening to it, they might let's say this is someone's first song that they hear of me. They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what, I can make something better, so I might as well just scrap that one and then get back in the booth or something.
Yeah, I feel like what you're talking about, musicians will probably only relate to, right? Because it's that process of like deep overthinking, especially as a producer who is constantly producing. You're obviously going to be way better than last year.
Yeah, of course.
So you're going to look at your past self like you're a fucking idiot. The same way we just posted a video, right? Jesse's and F-Boy Tony's podcast episode. And we look like absolute dog shit. But it was like our first kind of podcast that we ever did, really. So it's like we have to take it with a pinch of salt. I guess it's bittersweet, which is the song. So go listen to that. But yeah, I guess let's go through this Portuguese background. So how was it growing up? What things did you see that you don't see here? And why was it such a culture clash?
Okay, so I come from like Porto, like the centre of Porto, which is like, in a way, almost like a mini London, but just a lot more like, everyone knows everyone, everyone's like cool with everyone.
Yeah, it's like a tight-knit community rather than like
everyone out for themselves.
these shadow selves, innit?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like here there's a lot of people to the point where like you don't even get the chance to connect with people as much.
Properly.
Yeah,
right?
properly. Yeah. Whereas like where I come from, it's like all my neighbours, we all knew each other. Like here,
First name
I've
basis
got like,
and all of that.
yeah. Here I've got like neighbours. I don't speak to any of them. I mean, they don't speak to me, so I don't talk to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, stush over here,
Yeah,
innit?
I feel
That's
like
what
people
London
are
is.
Yeah. Whereas like where I come from is obviously the opposite of that, and also it's like hot most of the time.
Yeah.
And I was like close by the beach, and I had like quite a big family there. So
Yeah. I can imagine.
yeah. I guess coming here, the reason why it was like such a big culture shock was almost like everyone is like really different here. Like a bit more closed off. Like even just how people are like raised, I realized like it's completely different.
Explain that a bit.
Okay, so let's just say like a lot of things that I've
Yeah.
seen like people do here wouldn't probably like be really,
It wouldn't run in Portugal.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, it might, but
yeah.
it's
Like what, though?
unlikely. Like, yeah.
Like what though? Like what though?
You gotta give us an example.
Like, for example, I mean, I'm not like saying
Yeah.
it's not a good thing to do this or anything.
Yeah.
If you do it, I guess you're amazing because, you know, you're doing you.
Yeah.
But, like, you don't really see a lot of, like... Okay, when I go out here,
Yeah.
I see, like, girls, they're, like, dressed, like like a bikini top and then like just like some mini skirt and stuff like that. Whereas in Portugal, I'd say like people are a little bit more like reserved in that sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they're more like here. I find it a lot also that like a lot of the times I meet a lot of people and most of them is just like
they're just like they're in Portugal, but they're not in Portugal.
Yeah, you'd expect it. Yeah, you'd expect it to be the other way around, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like
because the whole
low-key,
country, innit?
Yeah.
But also, I just find that people are very, superficial, closed off. It's hard to connect with them. It's hard to like have real, intimate, like
real genuine connections, right? Because
yeah.
people are more afraid to give themselves to other people. Because we're in the mentality of like dog eat dog, innit?
Yeah.
And Portugal and like, I guess other countries, even like Tanzania, when my dad was growing up and shit like that, it's kind of that village tribal mentality where it's like, okay, everyone kind of brings each other up rather than go step on someone else.
You against the world. Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. It's you against the world, isn't it? Perfectly put. Yeah.
Basically. So I
that's
think,
one example, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of like they're just that's the thing, but it's ironic, isn't it? Because technically they're showing off more of themselves.
Yeah.
When they do the opposite.
Yeah.
Mentally.
Yeah.
And then we start this. I guess you have that perspective, right? Of you can see how superficial people are being because you've been in a place where that was the enemy. Essentially, that's how you kick someone out of the tribe, right? Yeah.
And also, just
heavy.
And also just not being able to like speak the language as well. I think that was like really hard at the beginning.
No, we literally had someone who's from Portugal as well who came onto the podcast.
Yeah.
I think they came when they were like 14 or so.
Yeah.
But no, they were saying in school and stuff like they couldn't really speak to anyone or integrate because she didn't have the skill set yet, right? So she would just kind of go in the corner, read her books and shit, and then just do that.
Yeah. I mean,
so how was it for you? Were you like that, or were you trying your hardest to like get out there?
To be honest, I was a bit like I was only 10 when I started school here,
yeah,
so I was
exactly.
a bit like scared. Really, I didn't know what I was gonna go into. I didn't know what was like. What it was gonna be like. But yeah, I did make some friends like right away, but not like. It took me like fully like maybe about 3-4 years until I was like actually
part of a clique and shit.
Felt like I was anyway. Do you know what I mean? Even though I feel like I never really was a part of. I always felt like I was an outsider in school. Just felt like I couldn't relate. Like you wear uniforms here, you wouldn't wear uniforms in Portugal. Like
too hot for that shit, bro. Get that sweater away from us.
Like you're just made to look like everybody else. That's one thing I hated as well. Like everyone, in a way, it's good because it like obviously people who can't really afford to dress as well as they would like to, and other stuff like other things like that. It's good in that sense, but then it stops you as an individual from like expressing yourself. That I feel like that's why everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people in this country take a lot longer to like figure out who they are. Because they're like put into this like place where everyone's kind of like supposed to be the same. And it's just like, actually, no, we're not meant to be the same, and that's okay. Like we're different, and we are all like amazing, just in different ways. So I don't know.
That's the school system.
That's
that goes down to like
carry on. I'm moving a little bit.
I didn't realize. I mean, no, I'm not gonna go deep into like.
Go as deep as you can.
Nah, mate. I mean, listen, the school system's a bit. It's a bit of a techie one still, isn't it? It's a bit. They want you to. They kind of want everyone, expect all students and all that to like kind of conform under this kind of into that kind of employee like mindset where they're gonna be obviously when like school's over, you're gonna get a normal job, work for someone, and you know you're not really gonna venture out of that kind of that just kind of, you can call it like a monotone way of living or something like that.
Where you have to constantly watch your back. You have to make sure you don't say the wrong thing, otherwise you'll be ridiculed for it. That ridicule turns into years of trauma and shit. And then you start holding on to that trauma in your adulthood. Yeah, man, of course. It's like, what's more profitable for the government? Really and truly, what is it more profitable for everyone to live through their own skin and understand themselves fully, and then take it onto a path that is glorious and high lifestyle? Or is it more profitable to show people that that's what you should want at all times, like, you know, the beaches, the villas, all of that shit, but give you a roadmap that only puts you into the opposite direction?
Almost like this is what you can have and what you should have, but here's what you have. And like when the average person looks at like their life, it's just like they see no way of like ever getting there, or like at least long term, you know. Because I feel like a lot of people end up settling for like just your average 9 to 5, and then you go on like holiday like once or twice a year, and they're okay with that, like, you know. Which, I
think they're not okay with that. I don't think anyone who has a 9 to 5 who goes on 2 holidays are technically okay with it. They convince themselves that they are.
Maybe, but then...
Do you know what I mean? Because if they have to live that life, if you have no other choice, then you have to tell yourself something, right? To like jog yourself to keep living. Right? Because it's a bit depressing if all you wanted in your life was to go on the beaches and the village and shit like that. Realize that you can't do that on a weekly basis because it's like 1K and you don't have 1K like that. Do you know what I mean? So
I feel like it depends as well. It depends how your outlook on life. Because for me, I believe that like anything is possible though. But it's just unfortunately we're taught to think that that's not how it is. And I think that's why. And also like if they were really not okay with it, surely they would do something about it, right? That's how I like to think of it. Like when I'm not okay with something, when I don't like something, I try to just change it, you know?
Just avoid it.
Not avoid it. Definitely not avoid it, because I feel like avoiding things doesn't help. You need to like literally sit there with your like whatever you're not happy with and just think, okay, how can I change this? How can I actually like change this from like a negative thing to a positive thing, you know? If you keep avoiding things and not really like looking into why you're not happy or why you're not okay with things, it's just like it's never going to change. It's probably only going to get worse.
If you keep running from your problems, you're always going to keep running from your problems, isn't it? So if at this point in my life I had made it and I had the money to do whatever the fuck I wanted and I could go to Porto tomorrow and shit like that, I would be saying shit like, it's your responsibility to change that mindset. I'm not in that position right now, guys. I'm far from it. Don't worry. But do you feel like it's your responsibility then, if you feel like anything's possible, to go out there and chase things?
I feel like that's something I always like dreamed of doing, if that makes sense. Just like one of the, obviously I want to be successful and whatnot, but
of course,
one of the main reasons why I do it is just so like one day when I am successful I can actually like give back to where I come from. Not just where I come from, but like also where I come from, because I feel like Portugal and people in Portugal have so much potential, but unfortunately they just don't get given enough like spotlight for it and enough like opportunities as well. Like, you know, Portugal's known for football, and you know it's nice, got nice views and stuff, but in terms of like music, there's so many good artists, and I feel like people don't really know any Portuguese artists, you know. And I feel like we are so versatile as well. Like you have people doing like Afro music, you got people doing like reggae in Portugal, you people got doing like more commercial stuff, drill even, they've just started, like, do you know what I mean? So I feel like there's so much going on in Portugal, but I just feel like it's still kind of like under
the radar. Because these people, right, like you're saying, you didn't come from much, right? That's what you said. So a lot of places like that don't have the luxury of being given entertainment. You have to create your entertainment,
Yeah.
and through creating your entertainment, you get all of these different facets of music and stuff like that you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've ever seen like African kids dancing, but their shit is wild, bro.
Yeah.
Like, there's no chance in me even trying that shit or attempting it. Because, like, you know, they do that whole arm shit.
Yeah, all that. Like,
Yeah,
all
like,
the meaning of that.
you have to
Pure.
find the entertainment rather than be giving
Yeah.
it to you on a plate,
Yeah. That's true.
you know?
So yeah, I guess that's definitely something I would like love to do. You know,
Yeah,
just,
love to give back
yeah,
eventually.
give back and just kind of show everyone else, like, you know what, if I did it, then you can as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, I feel like I had to kind of like move here in order to be able to pursue my music career. Whereas
'cause it's
I
like-
wanna,
it's like your vision, your scope, innit?
yeah,
Like, if you see other people around you kind of going for it,
yeah,
then you feel like you can do it.
yeah.
Was there anyone like that specifically that you want to give a shout out to,
Mm,
or was it just yourself?
what, in terms of like music?
Yeah, like starting it, or like thinking that you can release Bittersweet.
Actually, yeah, there's like two people.
Yeah, go for
They're
it.
like,
Yeah.
literally, I consider them like my family because I feel like without them, I probably would have not
yeah.
released something so soon. So like
Mm.
Ebru and Erin, they're literally like a married couple.
Yeah.
And yeah, I actually met Ebru at work.
Yeah.
And we just became friends, and her husband happened to be like, he's also an artist, rapper and singer, and he does a lot. Like, he doesn't produce, but he can mix and like a couple other things. He records me all the time, like, so that's who records me actually.
Yeah.
And I've just
yeah.
gotten like so comfortable with them. I feel like they've really, that's what I was looking for, like, for a long time.
Yeah, like
Just-
a hub.
Yeah, like people, you
Your
know,
creative
you can-
hub, right?
Yeah, like I literally just go in the studio with them, like I do my thing. They help me in the sense that, like, because he's obviously quite experienced, like he used to be somewhat like actually quite well known back in the day.
Yeah.
So he was like a blessing in disguise for me.
Yeah, so you
Because-
just met him through work, and then you started this little clique, and then one thing
Yeah.
led to another.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that kind of story. But yeah, no, like, that was just a guess. I didn't think there was someone who actually like just pushed you into it.
There
that's
there is.
It's
Yeah.
I'm sure you had other like external support as well. right?
Yeah, but I feel like they played a big part in like my music journey so far,
Yeah,
and they deserve all the credit for that.
yeah, and
So-
it just makes sense, right? Like, if you have loads of friends around you,
Yeah,
but they don't all fit into your criteria, how you want to be living your life, because you want to be around people who will excel you rather than put you down, right?
yeah,
And you want to be around people who are successful, right? Because if you have people around you that are successful, then you're also successful by association,
yeah,
you know? Obviously, you have to work up to be in the same spot,
yeah.
but you know what I mean? So if you're around people who make music, it gives you the leverage of, I can use my chilling time to create the thing that I'm passionate about,
yeah, yeah.
you know?
And with people you love as well. I think that's
Yeah.
such a gift as well, you know? Because
Definitely,
I know a lot of
Yeah.
people, they make music with people they don't know, people they don't even like.
Yeah.
Just like on a business
100%.
type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like, for me, I just feel so blessed to be
Yeah,
able
yeah,
to
yeah.
just do that.
Because it's not always the case, right? Like, especially as a producer, you're not gonna know half the people who you produce beats for. You're just not.
Of course, man.
It's kind of impersonal. CJ
Yeah.
obviously tries to make it a little bit more personal, right?
Yeah.
With like messaging and stuff like that. But
yeah.
yeah, sometimes. But yeah, apart from that, like, what else you gonna do? What other choice do you have?
That's what I'm saying, man.
But yeah, I think you've done the same thing with your music, right? Like, actually creating your music, you have Aaron and you have other people around that you could
Yeah, in a way,
definitely
yeah,
be
yeah.
making music with. You just haven't yet.
Yeah.
But you have the system there.
Yeah. We got a system. Nah, I mean we have like recorded stuff, innit? We recorded like loads of stuff. It's just
Yeah.
setting down which one do we want to actually release, and when do we want to release it, and then move from there. Really.
Yeah. But like, you see how a lot of people are thinking nowadays. They're kind of occupying their time so that they can still chase their dream while they have this 9-to-5 job. And you have that, right? Like, you've stayed in touch and connected with everyone from the college that you went to, right? And you can make music with everyone that you went to college with, you know,
Pretty
in the
much,
same way that she stumbled into someone from work, had a really good voice, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Like, it's
that's good.
like it's deep as well, isn't it? It's like it's not like a, you know, a typical singer voice that you hear.
Yeah.
It's more melodic, right? And yeah, you probably showed him like what you can do, and he's like, oh, raw, I might have to record this shit.
Do you know what? It actually took.
Or did it take a while? Yeah,
it took a while actually. It took about like maybe 6 months before we even like considered doing anything together.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's normal, you know. Sometimes when you don't know people, like, you don't want to waste their time. They don't want to waste your time.
Because it's London, right?
I mean, maybe because of that, maybe because, you know, that's just how it is. But yeah, it took a while for us to actually decide we were gonna do something together.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, like, it was something I always wanted to do, but yeah, sometimes, you know, just life gets in the way as well. And yeah, I feel like probably if I did do something with them sooner, I probably wouldn't have been like as comfortable anyway. Yeah. And it's funny because I recorded something with them like a year or 2 ago.
Yeah.
But only now we decided to actually release this song.
So when's that gonna come out?
No, as in like Bittersweet.
Oh, that's Bittersweet.
Yeah,
oh, that's
mad.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So we've been working together for like a while.
Okay.
So like we've gotten
Since
used
the beginning,
to we've gotten used to each other and how we work, which I feel like makes a big difference as well.
Yeah, no,
you can hear it in like
it definitely does, isn't it?
in the music when.
And you know what? It cuts the bullshit.
Yeah.
Right, because if it's with someone that you like, quote unquote, love, they're not gonna tell you, oh yeah, it's good when it's not.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, yo, listen, record that again, please.
That's so important.
Literally.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I'm always like open to learning, and I feel like I'm still growing as an artist, and they were like what I needed. Yeah, they literally, like you said, every time they felt like I could do better, they were like, yeah, Anna, you know what? Let's do this again and again and again. Like, as many times as I needed to in order to get what I wanted, because they knew I could. Yeah.
How did lockdown affect the process?
Lockdown, for me, I'm actually like so happy it happened.
Yeah, and I had a feeling.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, innit?
Yeah, because I feel like that's when I actually like, it made me stop and like realize, like, what are you doing with your life right now? Like, what do you want to do with your life right now? And then, because we had nothing else to do, because I was like the type of person that kept like running from my fears, my problems, and
I thought you meant actual running, like, you know how bad people are doing those 5Ks and putting them on Instagram.
No. Also, I was also physically running, but
because that's what people were doing, innit? That's all I used to see. That stupid Nike app, bro. Like, I don't care you did 10K.
But yeah,
making you get jealous, innit? Like, I'm sitting at home.
I get to do 10K. You're making me
much,
feel
innit?
bad about my flap, fam.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're running away from your fears and problems and stuff,
and so that kind of made me just like, I couldn't run from it. Like, I had too much time on my hands. Yeah, I had no choice but to just kind of like actually sit there in my feelings and kind of just.
But you did though, because you could have just watched bare TikTok videos and just forgot about it every single day. But you didn't do that.
Yeah, because you see me, I always feel like I'm being really unproductive.
I
used to feel like that a lot. Like,
Yeah.
not so much now, because I've changed. But yeah, I used to feel like that a lot.
I still feel like that, you know? And I think it's more because of society, and I have to kind of unlearn that, rather than me being consciously unproductive.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Are you talking about like hustle culture?
Yeah, hustle culture, bro. We're in the self-development space with this podcast. We've decided that we're not going to be anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you hear all of the people who are around us, right? Like not so much like Sneeko, for example, but like if you listen to the Diary of a CEO, if you listen to that Hamza guy, Jeffrey, if you listen to Jeffrey, then you're gonna hear all of this shit about like, you know, you shouldn't be doing anything else apart from bettering yourself. And it's not the truth, but what it is it's just something to exaggerate the truth so that you actually get a move on. Because as humans, we have a tendency to shut off if we don't have any real problems.
Yeah.
Do you think do you think self-development can be toxic?
Yeah. I think it can be done wrong. And that's how it becomes toxic.
Explain that.
I feel like, okay, so for me, around lockdown actually, I also did counseling for about like 6 months, because I was like so dedicated on like actually bettering myself as a person. And I was like, you know what, I feel like my whole life I've tried to do things by myself, and it was like, it's not that I can't do it by myself,
it's just time to get a helping hand with professionals.
It's okay to ask for help sometimes. Like, you know, I think it's part of you like growing as a person. You also need to like go out there and like be open to other people's opinions and other people's outlooks, and that's how kind of like you get a bit of wisdom as well.
Because we're looking at life like this, right? And if we have a little bit of perspective, if we zoom out a little bit, then we can be like, okay, cool, we're fucking up here, and here, this is how you change it. It's like when you watch a football match, right? It's easy for you to be like, just pass there, bro. But not the case, is it? Like, you're not on the football pitch, you're probably not going to make that pass, but you're saying it like you can.
And also I think it's a lot of people will like not give themselves the credit that they actually like deserve.
Because it's not societally accepted to give yourself credit.
Exactly. And I feel like that's something I learned along like the couple of months I was doing counseling for, which was like I realized how hard I was like being to myself, to the point where I was like being my worst enemy. Like I was literally my own, like I was what was stopping myself from like just being
elevating, isn't it?
Being great, you know,
being you now,
right,
like you were in the way of you,
basically,
definitely.
But no, it is toxic, man, but we just have to find a way to like unlearn shit, you know, because it's easy to take that thought of like self-development is toxic, but self-development is the thing that's been rammed down my throat, you know. So then you start thinking everything's a scam, and then you can go into a whole spiral there. It's so easy for someone to just switch off completely and do the 9 to 5 shit, which is why so many people do. And just that. Sorry, I know some people are doing more than that. Sorry, innit? But
I
feel
like it's probably because a lot of the times you get told, oh, like self-development looks like this, and you have to do this, and you have to do that.
You have to do stretches on camera. Nah, that's not the case.
And everyone's self-development journey is going to be completely different, because we are all different. We've all experienced different things. We've seen different things.
And productivity is going to look different to people as well, isn't
it? Depending on, like you said, whether or not you have a full-time job, depending on, you know, how much you can like support what you do, like financially, and also just like emotionally even, you know. So definitely,
man,
definitely.
Any closing thoughts that you have, because we grilled you pretty heavy, I can't lie. Let's just relax a little bit.
Did anyone have any questions for you?
I've actually got like quite a few questions.
Let's do that.
Right, so I had to write them all down on my notes, because I wrote like my favorite ones, to be honest. I just felt like these were the most like interesting.
Now I was trying to read your tattoo.
Oh really? Can you understand it?
No, even.
It's Dankar.
You read it backwards.
Oh, am I? That's the right side.
Yeah, you read it that way.
Yeah, I'm reading it that way.
Yeah, that's what I said.
What does it say?
It says, what does it say?
I don't know, I was trying to read it.
Come on, Nazani, man. Come on, expert. Come on, you're looking like an expert. Like, you know what you're doing.
Wait, it's Dankar man Andowaman. That's how I'm reading it. I'm not good at this shit. Tell me what it says.
It says, remember who you are and what you stand for.
Okay, so I was still reading it right. That's
Well,
that's what it was saying.
Should
Okay,
believe
you know
in
what?
yourself.
You know what? Hold on. Arabic scripture looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have this equilibrium clothing line coming out.
Okay, cool.
With just equilibrium translated onto.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, the reason why I got it in this was because I really loved that phrase, but I was like, it sounds a bit cringy in English. Like I don't really want to tattoo that in
Those
English.
ones
hide it.
Yeah, those ones.
So I was like, and you know what? Yeah, this is something that's for me. It's a bit personal, so
I'm gonna
people
give it a
don't
little
really-
shield.
Not
Yeah.
everyone needs to understand it.
What
which
was the
is-
phrase? Believe in.
Remember who you are and what you stand for.
Remember what you always know.
Right, so the first question is name 5 goals for this year. Yeah, that one's actually quite hard.
Yeah,
So-
that one definitely just like read a book on self-development. They're
Yeah.
like, okay, what are your goals? I need to know.
No way.
That question hit you too hard. It came through
Oh
the
my god,
screen,
now I'm
man.
getting too excited thinking about my goals for this year. Right, so I'd say the first one is definitely to like release more music. Like at least another like 1 or 2 songs. Like that's the main thing I'm trying to focus on right now.
Yeah.
Another one is to like by the end of the year I want to be like so much more confident in myself. Like I feel like I've come a long way in terms of that, but I feel like I've still got a little bit of a way to go, you know? So yeah, that's another thing.
But what kind of confidence? Because that's such a wide term, innit?
Just yeah.
Like, what part of yourself do you want to be confident in more?
So I love like performing live, but I feel like a lot of the times I just stop myself from doing it.
Yeah.
Because I just like overthink it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I want to get to the point where I'm just like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, of course, because like once you understand the metric that you're going for, which is like, you know,
Yeah.
confidence in this realm, confidence in like performing,
Yeah.
then you're like, okay, cool, I might need to do like a couple shows here and there, innit, this year.
Yeah.
So maybe that should be your goal.
Yeah.
The third one.
Yeah.
So we're getting through this
Yeah.
question right now.
And another one would be to like collab with some artists. I've been wanting to do that for a long time.
Yeah.
But I feel like obviously because I didn't have any music out, I didn't want to like do that yet.
Yeah, because you need a CV for music too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't run
Anyway.
like that.
That's what I'm saying, man.
But no,
Yeah.
we have some suggestions afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll DM you with some people because
Cool.
honestly, we've done interviews with so many artists, and obviously he knows a lot as well.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
And then the last one is, to get 1 million in my bank account. Just
There
like
you go.
that.
Just like
Just
that.
like
just
that.
like that, she
Come
dropped
on.
it.
Come on,
She
December
ate your question
31st,
for
innit?
breakfast, fam.
December 31st. You look at your bank account, someone just dropped to me.
Early Christmas present.
Yeah.
I mean late Christmas
Late Christmas
present.
present, yeah.
But yeah. On to the next question.
What's
I
a
guess.
non-cliche question that was asked?
Non-cliche. Someone actually asked, like, do you have any tips? I've written like some bars, but I'm really nervous to record. Yeah. This one, I'm gonna have to be really honest. I feel like for me, what it took for me to actually like be able to go in the studio and make a good quality song was like just being sure of myself. So like working on myself, that just made me be more confident, maybe be more sure of what I wanted and how I was gonna do it. And once I had that in me, I was able to actually go in the studio and like just record it. But I'd say just go for it. Like the main thing is just like remember to not be your own like enemy, your own worst enemy.
No, I see you, and obviously you're giving that advice from what you've already lived, right?
Yeah.
Like because you already got yourself to this. It's very hard to explain the process of getting pumped up enough to do something that is scary.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain that feeling, but it's literally the same way that you would approach a roller coaster when you're like a kid.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing. It's like, you know, you have the angel and the devil on one shoulder, the other. You're like, okay, if you don't do this, you're a pussy. You should do it. Your friends want to see you do it. It's fun. You have like a good time because of it, and then you go.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to do, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if it makes you happy, then that's what you should do.
Yeah, and that's what like people mean when they say they're working on themselves.
Yeah.
It's like they're having a battle with both sides of themselves and understanding that you're not one side or the other, you're both.
Yeah.
Like you were saying at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think, like I said, if it makes you happy, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing it. You know?
Yeah.
No matter how much it scares you.
I have an objection to that, actually. Because I was going to make music in lockdown. And I was persuaded not to because this bitch told me, don't do that shit, bro.
Wait, listen. I was one of the voices.
You heard?
Listen. No, I didn't tell. Listen.
He didn't actually tell me.
No, I didn't tell him not to do it. I just said, you know, you need to. You're not ready yet to like step into the booth. Just work on yourself a little bit more, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I need to have more arguments with my shoulders and that, bro. That's what I gotta do.
No, do you know what? And
he was the most supportive of everyone else.
Yeah. What did everyone else say?
Doesn't matter.
All right, then, mate.
That's a story for another time. I
Story for
guess.
another time. Part two.
Yeah.
Any more questions that you wanna read out?
Yeah, there's a couple more. Someone asked me, at what moment in your life do you think you'll look at yourself and say, yeah, I've made it?
Oh,
And I think that's such a good question.
Such a good question.
Because I feel like what even is the definition of making it?
It depends on the person, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's always going to change as well.
Yeah.
It's not an absolute value.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I feel like as you accomplish different things, like, for example, 2 years ago, like, my main thing was like, oh yeah, I want to release a song, but I've done that now. So it's like,
yeah,
the more you accomplish what you do want to do, you kind of like end up changing
changing your bearings, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like the answer to that question, in my opinion, personally for me, would be just if I'm like doing music full time, like I don't necessarily have to like get paid from it a lot, as long as I can like live off of it and just do it full time, go out there, connect to people, like just seeing people like enjoy what I'm making and connecting to it and taking like something from it, that for me is just that kind of recognition, isn't it? Not so much like I also, so many times I've thought about like doing music but like not showing my face. So you know how like there's some people, how there's some people that like make music but you don't know what they look like. I thought about doing that a lot because I was like, maybe I don't really want the recognition. Like I just want to feel like I'm putting something good out there in the world, you know?
Yeah, being completely selfless. Not attaching yourself to this thing called fame, because fame is like also demonized, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like obviously I would love to get famous, and I feel like because of how I am, I will be successful, but even if I didn't, I'd still be alright with it. Because just the fact that like I was given this talent and like this passion for music, it's just because I feel like that's what saved me in a way. I always knew what I wanted to do. I didn't have to like, I didn't get to the age of like 25 and thought, oh my god, okay, what do I actually want to do with my life? You know, like what career do I want to go with? So
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's been us, Boys at Kilimanjaro podcast.
Bro, I swear it's literally.
Wait, I'm not done yet.
Huh?
I'm not done yet.
No, I'm saying it. They've probably just seen half my face for the whole thing.
Yeah, no, but you know
I mean,
what?
don't worry, I probably look like a little ant at the back here.
No, you're in the middle though.
In the middle,
you got the primary shot.
Primary shot.
But yeah, no, thanks for coming on.
No
I know
worries,
you came
thanks
from
for
far.
having me.
This was. I learned a lot from this podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's like meeting people, getting into their heads, like
it's
their
like
kind
you
of
said,
mindset.
like if you're outside of your own perspective, then you can piece together things that you're already thinking about before.
Yeah. Oh, it's been an honor.
Yeah,
so,
no, it was sick. It was sick.
Definitely.
Take care, guys. We'll see you next time. Whatever that is.